Hi, Tammy Louise with TLC Designs on Thursday, March, is this the 15th?
16.
16th, 8 p.m. This is when we spend a crafty hour or so learning to live creatively together. That's what TLC stands for, to live creatively. Um, I've been in the industry for 15, 18 years, and I started my store about 3 years ago, and I truly have a passion for this. I design because I love to create, and I design what I love to create with. So I'm glad that you're here. Anyone that might be joining us, do we have someone in? We're going to wait just a few more seconds before I get into the actual creation. Last year, probably around April or May, I started a flower making series, and I think I did 3 or 4 of them. And today I wanted to continue with that because I think it's important to recognize the embellishment dies that are inside all of the frame dies or the specialty dies that you get from TLC. I always cram them full on the inside so that there's no wasted metal space. You're going to get flowers or bugs or leaves or, adorable fences that I could go on and on and on. Things that kind of build. I've always been big on dyes. I do love to color with my Copics. I love to color watercolor, but I'm pretty much a dye designing card maker. So knowing that, I love the scenery dyes just as much as I do adding dyes, frame dyes with character colored illustrations. So I could, I always add as much embellishment dyes as possible to my sets. So we have a release coming out with a bundle. It'll be an exclusive card making suite bundle, and it's going to have an interactive die. And if you missed last week, somehow YouTube didn't get checked for something when we did the live stream. I did a full demonstration of the double dial die. So if you didn't get a chance to stop in last week on YouTube, I was live in the Facebook groups, but YouTube wasn't checked. So if you are a YouTuber and that's where you like to get your information, there is a tutorial on the double dial die, which is one of the most popular interactive dies, and it's originated here at TLC. And I made a really cute little card I can show you when we go to the hands-on here at the desk. Let's see what else. We're going to be releasing at the end of this month the card making suite, and it's going to have a brand new paper pack. And I did a preview. I had 2 of the papers finished and printed last Thursday, and now this Thursday the entire pack is done. So I'm going to play with it again just because I can. And I'm getting ready to, get 20 of them put away in the zip packs, and so that the bundle sale will be ready when it releases at the end of the month. So, having said that, we have had a winner for the hop last month. The Sketch Easy challenge that is going on right now for April is continuing. So if you bought the bundle or got the bundle for free from the summit even, and you're joining us, you can win a $5 prize, which buys you the next bundle, by the way. If you go ahead and play along with the sketch, using whatever products you like. If you use the sketch, you can still enter. If you use the sketch and use product, you can enter for the grand prize of $5. Otherwise, you win a digital set of stamps from the store. That goes on until, how many days are in April? 30 or 31?
Yeah.
The end of the month in April. In March. Jim, we're in March, right?
Right.
Didn't feel very good last week, and this week I'm a little bit better, but my mind is just a little off for some reason. Anyway, you could still join and enter your project. We love to see them in the Creative Sharing Facebook group, and all of the design team members will get in there and comment and tell you how beautiful your work is and things like that. So it's always nice to kind of have a group of people, my little village of TLC Designs. Creative souls is what we are, actually. We love to get together. I have a few people that are with me every Thursday night, which is awesome. I think, there's definitely a small group of people that just enjoy doing craft time and taking an hour out of their week to relax and enjoy. So I think I've covered everything that's going on in the store right now. Let's go to the head-on. I welcome anyone that might be new to this.
Stephanie Theodos, I haven't heard her before.
Hi, Stephanie. If you're new, welcome to TLC Designs. I'm Tammy Louise. I'm the owner of the store, and we're based in Michigan. And I craft every Thursday night at 8 o'clock, and I have a lot of lady friends that come and join me just to pick up tips and tricks. And I always have a giveaway at the end, so if you get a chance to stay at the end, then that would be great. But just make a comment so that my husband, the stream guy, can add your name to the pool of people to draw from. So if we don't know you there, we can't enter you in the prize. So let's go to the tabletop, James, if you could please. All right. So I want to play today with some flower making. And I want to show you the dies that I decided to play a little bit with. Not all of them are going to actually be using the flowers from them, but this is called the Rosy Sentiment die. And what I used was the frame piece of this. As you can see, I was saying before, I also used the word hello. This is a sentiment insert with a rose, gathered in the name of Rosy Sentiment. But you get all sorts of different flowers. This is an actual rose with a rose flower or a rose leaf. You get the word smile, you get the word hello, and you get an inside die and an outside die, which we're going to play with today. So on top of that one, we are also going to play with, what did I use out of this? Oh, I wanted a ladybug. And I have one in the cherry on top die. Now this is an actual cherry cupcake, and it has birthday candles. It has little flower petals that make, what's that flower? Violets. Those are violets. And then it says for you. So you can do like a birthday kind of celebration card with this set. But today we're going to use the ladybug. This is the Tiny Vine Oval. Super, super popular because this oval set is a really nice frame set for an A2 sized square or rectangular card. I'm going to use it today for the tiny vine that's on the inside. So it's called Tiny Vine Oval. And it comes with two separate flowers and then the vine that have flowers attached to it. It makes a really delicate little vine of flowers for your project. An apple a day die, we're going to use the flower. So I'm going to try and make this cherry blossom in a different way than I've done it in the past. I want to try something tonight. So it's going to be a little bit of an experimental night again, of course. I always stretch my abilities and my imagination and try and come up with something genuinely different every time I design. So this is called Apple a Day. As you can see, you get, again, a ton of little things. And this one comes with a bumblebee. But for some reason, I just wasn't in the bumblebee mood. I wanted to use ladybug. So this is how I store, just in case anybody was interested, this is how I store the dies that I actually use to cut with. But today, I got in my little studio early enough to actually pre-cut some of the stuff. So I want to show you. Let me go over. Where's the paper pack? Here's the paper pack. And this is obviously what I use today. It's called Woodland Watercolor, and it has not been released yet, but I can literally not wait to actually get to playing with this. Jim, is the camera on the out one?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's as big as it can get.
Yep.
So just going over this, it's a woodland watercolor. Every piece of paper that I designed is a slim line, so you can cut it in half and get two A2 size cards out of each one of them. This particular set, I didn't have a lot of watercolor collections in the store. I do a lot of the graphic designing myself and will pre-color them and then use them to color, sort of like this bunny. This is like a pre-colored illustration stamp that was added on a watercolor background. But I have a lot of that in the store and very little watercolor. Now, what I did too was I went with, you can see on the cover here, this is the yellow pink, this is the orange green, and this is the blue / turquoise. So you have three different color schemes going on in this pad, very springy, very fresh looking, pretty. All of the colors will coordinate, so it isn't going to really matter which one you decide to put, the turquoise with the yellow background, which I use to create something, the background on here. But you could put this yellow with the blue bunnies. You could put the blue with the blue bunnies. There's also a green stripe that you can see will match with the green bunnies, and then even pink. I wouldn't choose pink with this one, but there's so much other pink. And this is kind of like corrugated board looking. So I have a medium, a small, and a large design in each of the color combinations. This is the lightest, and one of each of the color combinations has a completely white background. So you're going to see this is the blue with white background. This is the orange green with the white background. And this one is the pink yellow with the white background. So much to work with in this particular paper pad. And they will be sold at the end of this month. They're going to release, but they will be sold in digital as well as stock format. So you can buy them already printed and start to use them right away, or you can buy them as digitals and use them as often as you want. You can print 100,000 times. Do you believe that, James?
I can't believe that.
This is a watercolor little chick, and it has a cute little mushroom with a bow on it and some butterflies. But I really liked it because I'm not big on yellow most of the time. But this one really came to me and said, I think you need to do this in yellow. This is like a cherry blossom or Japanese kind of bonsai tree, but in pinks and yellows. And I loved how this design came out. This is one of my favorites from the paper pack. This one is a smear of, or a, what's the word I'm looking for? Ombre of orange, pink, yellows in the background. And then it's got a bird with a little chunk of wood there and some design in the background to kind of bring it to life. So I just kind of wanted to show you what's coming out at the end of the month. It's always fun to know what's new. And I'm going to put this up. I used this one and I used the yellow. Here's the flowers we're going to play with today. I want to show you where I got the watercolor that I'm using in today's project. For example, the Tiny Vine Oval Vine that I've already cut and put on is from this paper pack, and it's actually called Watercolor Naturals. Now, I'm going to say 9 or 10 years ago, I was working for another company, and what I did was got my watercolor paper out, literally just grabbed my own brush and created my own watercolor pictures. And then I took pictures of them and created JPEGs and PNGs. So this is everything on this pad was self-created. So you're going to get mixtures of pinks and mixtures of purples. It's got a little pink in it, a darker purple. All of these watercolors were hand done and mixed to use with floral design, because that's what natural flowers look like. When you go to find a violet, you're not going to find a violet that's a solid blue. You're going to find a violet that has several different colors of blue in the petals. So that's what I wanted to create this for. And we are going to use this today. It is already in the store. It's been released forever. Let me put this with the other pad of paper. Put the Watercolor Naturals up. So we are using 2 different pads of paper today. One of them isn't released, but the other one is. And then what I did was use the Rosy Sentiment die, and I cut from the yellow corrugated colored paper the frame. And then I used the actual insert die with one of the brand new woodland watercolor papers that I'm releasing at the end of the month. I used Watercolor Naturals green for this vine, and this frame, this oval frame, is from the Apple a Day die set. And I want to leave it white because this isn't going to be a project that's about an illustration or my coloring or anything like that. It's going to be a sentiment card that is about the flowers that are on it. So I want to definitely going to bump this up a little bit. I was starting to work on this so that we didn't have to do the stuff that doesn't have anything to do with making flowers today. My voice sounds strained. Maybe I don't have to talk quite as loud. Oh, and I have I'll show you. He's so cute.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, Mr. Jim, I'm not talking about you, dear. You are cute, though. I'll keep you. Okay. So we're going to pop this word hello right in the center over the vine. And this is the, I used the watercolor naturals paper for her body too, but this is the ladybug that I got out of the cherry on top die set. And all I did, I'll tell you exactly how I did it. I want to kind of give a little bit of dimension to these wings because they're so cute. They have little hearts cut out of them. Aren't they adorable? So all I did was cut the body once out of white, and I got my Copic marker and I just colored his head, and then left I colored red on the underneath just in case you'd see any portion of it that I didn't want to see. I grabbed some pink from the Watercolor Naturals paper pad, and I have one of these new tools that I need to learn to use anyway. So let me get this. Ouch. It pinched me. Anyway, used watercolor pink, and I cut the head off so that I could pop up the pink body. I'll show you real quick. I'm going the wrong way. Can you see, or is it blurry?
It's a little blurry. Looks
So I
good.
back it up. It'll be okay.
There you go.
And you can see how much dimension it actually gets. So I popped the pink one up on top of the original, and then I glued one of the wings. You get two different types of wings with the ladybug, and I chose the one with the little hearts on it. So we're going to use that one like after I'm done with the flowers and the placement of the flowers. That's what we're going to put on the card to kind of give it that little bit of extra pop. Do we have any questions?
Nope.
Okay. Don't forget to comment if you're here. I'm going to work with the Heartfelt Creations Deluxe Flower Shaping Kit that I bought. Has everything I need. And I really enjoyed using it the last time, so I'm going to continue with it. Move the card over just a little bit. Comes with the tool, comes with all the little things that you need to push dimension into the flowers. I want to use, they're pretty small flowers. I don't know if you can see the embossing on this.
Not really.
No? Well, I can see the embossing on this. If I got the, which I might still do, it'd be very simple for me to do it. And I think that it's a tip that maybe people would appreciate knowing about. Let me see. Oops. Paper towel. And I want the apple a day. This one. I'm going to pull the flower and the little cherry blossom out of this set. Apple a day comes with a seed die, so you can make like an apple and put some seeds in it. It's so cute. I love that die set. I'm going to grab this flower and I'm going to put it back in here. You can see in the die now that there's a section of metal that cut out, and I did that on purpose so that if you put enough pressure on your machine while it's running through, where is the match? So I want to go over here. Okay, this matches. So I'm going to put it back in this die because I wanted to show you. Grab my surface protector. I want to put a little bit of ink. What color do I want? Because I'm going to be using some distress ink on these flowers anyway, because I cut them out of white intentionally so that I could make them any color I want. I need to find the where's my color? Nope. Really need to learn how to put these back where they belong. Then I wouldn't have this problem, right? Here they are. These are all my Ranger Distress ink. So I know that the card base has pinks, yellows, greens. I think I want to kind of stay with the pink that I used in the word hello. So let me look for that sort of pink. Yes, and it's messy up here, but it's okay. I have to redo it. And I do have the sheets to redo. Oh, here. Picked raspberry. Matches the paper, and it pretty much matches this word hello. So if we're going to do the outside with a picked raspberry, then I want the inside to be squeezed lemon. Okay. Now that I have my colors, picked raspberry and squeezed lemon. Grab my pads for them. And I need to grab the ink. Picked raspberry. Where are you? Squeezed lemon.
There's your squeezed lemon.
Where? He sees it from across the room somehow. Oh,
Here's your picked raspberry.
That's not distressing.
Oh, it's not the distress.
This is distress oxide. But I have squeezed lemon in distress ink as well. I just need to find it. My eyes have been twitching today too. I don't know what that's all about. There's picked raspberry. And there's squeezed lemon right next to each other somehow mysteriously. It's nice to have it like so close. I'm not used to that in the other studio. Everything was so far away. Okay. Now all I need to do is find these. I need to put this wet towel somewhere else. I'm just going to use any two. I'm not going to play with them. I have so many of these. Waste no more time. So I'm going to put the squeezed lemon. Oops, why does this already have one? That's interesting. Let's see if it has any ink on it. That's another question. No, it's empty. Awesome sauce. Okay, so what I'm going to do, now that I picked the colors and I used my card as a reference, get this put back in here. And I'm going to just ink yellow. It's actually squeezed lemon. That's a little bit of a weird name, but I'm not in charge of naming these. So now I also just bought, in case, which is happening, in case that dauber was too big. My husband bought me. Didn't you give me these?
Yes.
Yes. Look, there's little baby daubers on wood sticks. And I think, yes, it does. It's so much easier in the small little spots. Good job, James.
I knew you would need them.
See? He knew. Awesome. Look, I've showed you guys new tools. Very cool. Then take the die out of there and you can see it is raised, but now you can see what it looks like, right? Then I want to do, cover this. I want to do a super light coat of the picked raspberry. Maybe I need to take some of this off first. Let me get a scratch piece of paper, which I have loads and loads of. I keep them for everything. Just want a little bit of the pink. Okay. Because I want to go lighter toward the inside. cherry blossoms have that really pretty dainty look to them. They're always so pretty on the trees too. It's almost time for them to be out. I'm going inward toward the yellow, but not really covering much of the yellow. I am tapping the, you want to go close up for me, please, James? So that they can see. I am kind of touching the tips of the yellow. It's almost impossible to not because, they're sitting upright. All right, so that's there. Now I really want to go, come here, and I want to put heavy pink on the outside. Really give it that cherry blossom look. And I'm going to just blend inward a little bit more because I can see that there's a little bit too much white. I'm not impressed with how much white I left. And I kind of want to smooth out some of the sections of the pink that went in there with more of a sponge look so you can see a lot of texture on it. I don't want to see that. I want it to kind of be as smooth as possible. There. Now, this also is special paper. Where did I put that paper pad? I'll have to be sure and show you. I got it at Heartful Creations. Can you back out, please? It's called Deluxe Flower Shaping Paper Pack, and you wet it down a little. It gives you just enough moisture in the fibers of the paper to really form a tip and an edge. You can kind of see here what they're trying to show you is that it creates more of a crinkled natural look on the flowers, and that's what I've used today when I cut these.
Mandy wants to know what's that brown paper that you are working on called?
Brown? This thing?
That stuff.
This is the same as what you used to call like those oven. This is temperature resistant, oil resistant. I can't remember what they actually call them, but I got this one years and years ago, and usually you see them much bigger. I will find the name of that, Mandy, when I go back in and see the messages and make sure that I can direct you to someplace where you can get one of these, but they're everywhere. Scrapbook.com. It's Tim Holtz had one. I can't remember what terminology they use for this. Maybe one of the other ladies that are watching will pop in and let me know if I'm if they're capable of figuring out what the name of them were. So yeah, I don't remember right offhand, but I will definitely let you know when I find out. The scrapbook.com has them. Amazon has them. I see them almost everywhere. So what I want to do, see if I can find, this is going to be another trick for the day. I know I have water squirters. Here it is, Mr. Conlon. Would you fill this up for me, please? Thin old water. Oh, wait. I have one. Mini Mister. This, I think it's Tim Holtz. Yep, Ranger. So we just use this one. I actually found something in my new, this is not my normal studio, if any of you are new here. So I'm going to, first I want to pick the appropriate sized weapon to put in this machine. This little, that looks a little big. The head that you choose is important because it's going to give you the dimension that you want. That one looks about right. We're going to try this one. Pop it in there. I
kind of want to start with the inside. So let's wet it down. I have a paper towel right here just in case it makes a mess anywhere. Push and roll. I don't want to roll a lot in the center, but I want it to kind of loosen the fibers. Turn it over. We're going to push. This die happens to have 2 little slots for each of the petals, and it kind of gives you even more dimension. I'm just going to roll it in like this. What are you working on? Because I can hear the tap, tap, tap.
I was looking for stuff.
Stuff?
Yep.
From the store?
Yep.
Aw, he might look it up for you, Mandy. Okay, you all can see how much of a little ball that's in. Can you zoom in?
Uh-huh.
Okay, now you can see kind of it looks almost like a bowl, right? I want to turn it over. It's still a little bit moist on the fibers. Just going to turn it over. Pop that in. Come back in and kind of push it again. Play with it as much as you want. I want it to look a little curly on the edges, but I definitely liked that raised yellow. So I'm going to hold it sideways best I can here. Can you see how much dimension I got on that? Isn't that pretty? This is where you say, oh, it's so adorable. Good job, Davey. All right. So I'm going to continue to make 2 or 3 more of these. And then maybe if someone could keep an eye on the card and let me know where you think they will look the cutest. I could actually place them on top of the flowers that are inside the vine. Or I could place them in the oval that the word hello is in. So we could put 2 or 3 cherry blossoms on one edge because you kind of want to be symmetrical when you're card creating, right? You have the focal point and then you have a little bit going on down here that your eye would catch up to, and then you could add a little bit more up here so that it kind of becomes more symmetrical. Or I could put all of the flowers down here and we could put the ladybug up here. We'll think about that. I need you to concentrate while I get some more of these flowers made. Where did the stack go? It's over here, Tam. Okay. So where did the die go? I need to keep track of this stuff a little bit better. The case of the missing die. Okay, here it is. Now that I have everything out because I've made the first one, it should become easier. You grab the pre-cut. Oops, goes this way. Find the exact place that it goes in. No. There we go. That's where it goes. Move my ball pushing pads and then, excuse me, again with the squeezed lemon. Get in there. I'll just do all of the flowers at once now. This is where, like, if you don't do it live, you could speed up and get all the flowers done in 2 seconds. Right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm a big fan of the idea of these, but they don't seem to last long. They look like they're tearing off of the wood sticks that they come on. So this is a new tool for me, so I'm just kind of letting you know what's going on with it. I'll keep my opinions to myself until the end and then let you know if I'll ever use them again. Ow. Bad wrist. There's one. How many do I want? It's easier to just keep twisting it until you get it to fit right back in. Now, had I decided to do this while I was cutting, I would have already had them colored and I could just say, oh, and by the way, get your ink out while you leave the paper in. That didn't come to my mind. Actually, these squish pretty good. It's just maybe that one.
Don't want to know what that is you're using.
You bought them, James. What is it?
It's a stick with a sponge on the end.
Yeah, so I got it for Christmas in my stocking, and James bought it, so I don't really know what the official name is, but maybe James would take 5 minutes away from whatever it is he's doing over there and research in Amazon or, look it up on Amazon.
That's not where I got it.
It doesn't matter. Amazon's going to carry everything. Trust me. Research something like sponge dauber. Small stick sponge dauber. Something like that. See if you can find them. I'll be doing the same thing if you can't. I'll do it tomorrow. Because I have a crock pot full of beef and onion and what else is in there? Carrots, potatoes, celery, all the really, really, really good stuff. And I'm going to sit down and have dinner tonight when I'm done here. So that one went in there really easy. I must have just, the gods were being nice. It does make a difference to have the littler dauber. That's nice, James.
Yeah.
Good find. Sweet. Sometimes you just end up in the store and you're like, oh, I've never seen that before. I wonder if it works. Well, this is one of those times where he just saw something and it was Crafty. And, he's like, oh, I wonder if Tammy's ever tried this. Let's try it. And it was a good buy. Did good. Oops. Okay. So I can't get this one off the mat there. Right. I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to put this away. I won't be needing the yellow anymore. Squeezed lemon. It's a funny name. And I will be using the pink. I'll be using this, so I'm going to keep some of these tools out, but this guy is ready to go back in the apple a day bag, so don't lose it. Keep track of your embellishment dies. They're so tiny. Sometimes I'm searching everywhere and up and down under my feet, everywhere humanly possible to locate them because they are small. And I like small stuff. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but I design what I like working with. And I find a lot of people agree and some people don't. That's just part of the crafting business, really. I mean, do we all buy the same stamp sets all the time? No. We like.
It's a dauber sets by Crafty Smart.
There you go. Say it louder.
Dauber set by Craft Smart.
Dauber set.
Yeah, they got different sizes.
Oh, nice. Well done. Crafty what? Is the
Craft
company?
Smart.
Oh, I've never heard of them.
Michael's has it.
Oh, okay. So it's in stores, ladies. I think there's a little bit of glue residue or something on my mat here. Jim, could you look up this mat? It's a non-stick, temperature resistant mat.
Yeah, I was looking for it.
craft mat. Look up craft mat. This is just a wipey. I'm just using a wipey to try and get a little bit of clean. So I'm thinking, instead of doing all the way around, I think I want to just do the edges maybe. Give them a little bit more dimension. We're going to see. This is sometimes the best part for me is trial and error, experimentation with my crafty stuff. I dig it. I don't want to say that. I dig it. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so I'm going to put this down again. It is a little bit easy to make sure you're getting nice smooth coverage when you use your mat to take some of it off. Don't get quite as much of a texture from the sponge. It's kind of cool because it gives the yellow mixes with the pink and it turns a little orange, so you're getting a really nice springy color in the center there. You can see the little slots. Those are what bend up when you actually use the ball tool. Intentionally placed there so that you can get some texture when you roll them. See, I was thinking.
Oh, I found it.
You can back this camera up, please. He found
It's,
it. What's it called, darling?
Dress My Craft nonstick craft mat.
Well, he found the one from Dress My Craft. That not all of them are from Dress My Crafts, but it's called a craft mat.
Yeah, it's a nonstick craft.
Okay. Well, I do believe that this one is a Tim Holtz. They come in all different shapes and sizes. Just search on craft mat. And the one that I have is temperature resistant. And this is 15 years old. It's not going anywhere. It's made out of this vinyl-ish
Oh, here's
material.
I think I found the one you're talking about. It's by Ranger Ink.
Ranger.
Wendy.
Yep. That's Tim Holtz's main corporation that he works for.
Wendy Betchy, Make Art Nonstick.
Oh,
Crafts.
Wendy put her name on one. It's probably very decorated and pretty.
No.
No, it's just plain brown.
Just plain brown.
Wow, that's different. She decided that the brand needed it and she got it. She's one of their larger designers. Product development. She's been with them for years and years and years. She has some really cute stamps. But I've worked for other companies and done product development and design for them, and it is not my bag of tea. I like being my own boss. This is the best job I ever had. I've had several. I was an accountant, actually. That's what I went to college for. Don't do that anymore because it's not a nice...
It's boring.
No, it's not actually boring, James. It's monotonous. It's kind of the same thing over and over, but not boring. Because,
what's the difference?
Well, because there are different tax laws. There's different... I used to do tax preparation and
Well, guess
all
who
sorts.
made it here?
Who?
Faith.
Miss Faith joined us. Hello, niece.
It's about time.
I'm making flowers. Pretty flowers. We're going to do this series until I run out of flowers in my dies, which it's not going to happen really soon because there's just like flowers everywhere in my die sets. But with each of them, I hope to bring a few different techniques and designs and creative thoughts to my crafty village so we can, continue to live creatively together. That's the whole goal. I'm going to do one more, only because I have it, and it'll be a complete waste if I don't use it. It'll be in the little bucket for a year of excess parts not used yet. And don't laugh. I literally have a little cup that has excess parts not used yet. probably have some of these in there. I could have just used and not cut all of them tonight, but there you have it. All right, I think I'm done with the inky stuff. Let's clean this off while I have it in my head to do so. Otherwise, I'll pull it out next week, and then everything I touch will be pink, and I won't understand what I did. Isn't it horrible? It's the old thing. All right. Let's put. Oh, I think I didn't do the edges. So, Faith, we're rolling flowers. I have one done already. And they're
This
really
could be it
cute.
too.
What?
Full rapid PTFE Teflon sheet.
It is definitely something you can put in the oven and cook
Yep.
with. Yes.
That's what this is.
Yeah. I think what happened was different companies came out with their own sizes and like if you notice, this has got a
Got the shapes cut
scalloped
out, yeah.
edge. You know, I mean, they come up with a way of selling it that's just a little different than the way someone else is already selling it. So that's not new to this business. That's been happening since I've been in it. I want to get that yellow thing out of here just so I don't forget to try and get the yellow off so I can use it for another color next time. All right. And I've made a little bit of a mess on my desk, which drives me nuts. I also need to get some of that pink off my fingers. If I touch something that needs to stay white and my fingers have pink on it, I'm in big trouble. Okay. Dry my hands. So let's do the flower again for all of the people that might be joining in a little late. First thing we're going to do is
Faith.
yeah, we're going to grab the mister, which I have in my hand and I'm looking for it too. I don't know why. A little far away, you're going to mist it twice. Take that water off there so it doesn't stay messy.
Is that just plain water?
Plain water from the tap. This is from the Heartfoot Creations Deluxe Flower Shaping Kit. Comes with a whole bunch of different sizes of the rollers and everything in the little tools. So you can just kind of choose and pick whatever it is that you're going to design with. So I'm going to do, oh wait, I should have done this one first. I'm going to push the stamen section of this cherry blossom down first. The paper didn't like that. Did you see that, James? It's going to be all right, though. I'm going to put it in here.
Dawn said she needs to get a Misty, but they're expensive in Canada.
A misty?
Yeah.
You mean mister? Like the water mister? Or the misty that you stamp with?
Oh, she said Misty.
Okay. Yeah, she's talking about a stamping tool.
Right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that flips over. And,
Yeah.
Yours is a mini Misty, right?
Mine is a mini. I don't know if you have a store that's available to look for a mini in, but maybe it's less expensive. And I have never had a need for a larger one. The mini Misty has covered literally everything I've ever needed. Let's turn this over. It looks like maybe a little bit too much water on this one by comparison to the other one. So pretty. I'm in love with this flower. I want to really get a curve on here. Look at how, I don't know if they're close up. Can you make them close up for me, please? The edges of this paper turns into a paddle looking. I mean, it's so pretty. It really is. And it looks so genuine.
When you color them right and you fold them right, they look pretty realistic.
Yeah, they do. I'll show you that other one too. Yeah, they really do. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Does it look pink and yellow? Because on mine,
Yeah.
it doesn't look pink and
Yeah.
yellow. But look at how much volume I got. I'll show you against the black on the leaf edges or the tips of the petals. So there's two of them. I'm going to push this in just a little bit more because it needs to match the other flower. Perfect. This way, we're going to do just one squirt. this time. Did it get on there? No. Would help if I aimed correctly, right? Okay. So we're going to push in the center. This one feels really dry, James. 2 squirts is better. Gets the water into those fibers of this paper. So cute. Okay. It's just flopping everywhere. And I'm going to use it on this petal. What time is it?
It is 8:51.
Excellent timing. I find that the more you squeeze at the tip here, it really makes that flower petal look like a real flower petal, and it's awesome. These are really pretty. I would encourage anybody that's interested in what this looks like, try it. Give it a whirl. It isn't going to hurt anything to, just play for a little while.
It works really well on your bigger petals.
It does. The big flowers work
Yeah.
really good too. This is, James, I don't think the camera is really doing this justice. If you come over here and look real quick, look at how this is really, I mean, it's a lot of detail in there.
Well, let me try some here. It could be too bright of light.
It could be.
I'm going to dim this one a little bit here and see.
Does that one dim?
Yes.
That's nice. He's going to try and play with the lighting a little bit so we can see, because what you're seeing is like a white flower. You can't really tell the details that I can see from close up here. Did it get any pinker? Maybe it's just
There's just a lot of light.
Yeah, that's weird though. We always use these lights. All right, there's 3. So I'm going to stop at 3 for tonight, and I'm going to put them on the project. All of this goes so neatly inside this box again, too. It's really a nice. Can you see that they're pink now, or is it just kind of glowing off? They're better?
They look good.
Okay. He's in charge of lighting. So if it's bad lighting, Miss Faith, you got to tell Uncle Jim. And it is magnetic, which I really like. The whole thing just fits in one little package and it's magnetic. Means Tammy can't lose it. It's shut now. Professionally done. Okay. So I'm going to find the lid, try and kind of clean this little bit of a mess up that I have going on. What is that? Oh, it's a bit of paper. Okay. Onto the card. I think what I want to do, I was going to do some leaves, some coloring distress inking leaves into the green and kind of put them with the flower, but I don't think I want to do that anymore. I also had the little bumblebee out and the other piece of ladybug back. Like you can see how cute that is. It's a cute little one. Smaller than the one that I used. But I'm thinking I won't do any of that. What I want to do, glossy accents. And I'm going to put, am I in the camera? Yeah. A dot on a few of these petals. And I'm going to put it on where the flower is on the vine already. 1. I like this project. This is nice. It's pretty. Who wouldn't want to get something like this in the mail, right?
But the last one you did, you had like a whole bunch of these flowers all bunched together. And it was cool looking.
Yeah, I think I have that sample sometimes too. Show you. James.
Yeah.
Go through this right here and see if you can find one of them. I'm sure there's 2 or 3.
Here?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, okay.
So this is one of the projects that one of the design team members, Melanie Smith, designed with the Rosy Sentiment die. She did a beautiful job making these so three-dimensional looking. This is one that I made with the Rosy Sentiment die again. Look at the leaves on this, you guys. Look at how realistic that looks. I mean, the leaves just look so real and crinkly and soft. They kind of have a lot of dye look. And then I glazed with some glass chips on the top, and we put stamen in the center of them. Yeah. And here's the zinnia flower that comes with the slimline zinnia on the cupcake die. It made it into kind of like a pot of flowers. Isn't that pretty? We have some examples of things. Oh, I wanted to show here. Take this one back. So I've got my flowers put on there. I definitely want to add more gemstone. I kind of want something soft and not sparkly. So I'm going to use these little, I'm not really good with tweezers and these little acrylic dots, but I'm going to try it. Oops, I'm not even on the top layer. I know a lot of people that can just pull this out real fast, and I can't do it. How do you get it to not stick to? Honestly, easier to just do it with your hand, I would think. Because then it's not sticking to anything. It is easier with your hand. What do you know? I don't do this very often. I do love making flowers, but it's not every day I get a chance to come in here and design with my flower dies, but I do love it. I just added, I think I'm going to leave this one plain or add, I might end up taking that off and putting another one of these on there. But let's do the ladybug. And I know it's black. I'm a little concerned with the fact that it's so stark black on this very light kind of watery colored background, but I'm not against it entirely either, because then it really kind of stands out better, right? Where do we want to put him? Hello. He is cute. There, I think he goes there. What do you think, Mr. Kama?
Me.
Okay, where he goes. Oops. He's hard to hold on to because he's tiny. He's cute though. All right. And instead of doing red, I chose pink because red really would have clashed with this project. I want to put the lower part of his body underneath there. A little bit of glossy accents on his wings is going to kind of give it that, like a shell, right?
Yep.
Ladybugs don't really have, it's not really a shell. It's almost like a skeleton on the outside, right?
Well, they have, all beetles, they have an outer shell, and then their wings are underneath it.
Oh, okay. Well, Anatomy 101 of beetles. I'm going to have to hold this in a...
Exoskeleton.
Well, it's an outside skeleton, yeah. That's what I thought it was, just on the outside instead of the inside. Like bones. For bugs. Once this dries up, it'll be pure black. I do need to go in on the edges here a little bit more with my Copic marker afterward so that you can't see any of the little white. I'm kind of picky when it comes to that stuff. It doesn't have to happen, but it won't go out my door without it being done correctly. So, and by the way, I wanted to say happy birthday, Dawn. Mr. Cunliffe entirely missed that you said last week that it's been exactly 364 days since your last birthday.
Oh,
So I am going to be sending you one of the cards that we worked on sometime in the past. I can't promise you which one I'm going to end up finding and sending to you. But happy birthday. Is she here tonight?
Dawn?
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Right, ladies? Happy birthday to you. And I think she said she was way older than she actually is. I'm convinced of it because, yeah, she's really young looking. All right. That is the end of the project for today. I hope everyone enjoyed getting a little bit of tips and tricks and tutorial information, some inspiration on how to create a floral project. Go ahead and go on my face. Let me turn around all the way. I'm turned around all the way. Thank you very much for joining me. It's Tammy with TLC Designs, and we will be here next Thursday at 8 o'clock. The release is coming up right at the end of the month. I'm hoping by my birthday, which is the 29th. And then we still have the Sketch Easy Challenge going on. So if you want to win a grand prize of $5 and buy next month's as well, you're welcome to join us. Pop your card in the TLC Designs Creative Sharing Facebook page. There's up at the top where you can choose the menus, go into media, and then find the album, and you just post the picture there. We'll all be able to see it. We'll all comment on it. I'm grateful for everybody that joins in on that. I think it's an awesome deal. You get the sketch to play along with. You get one of the design team members that creates a YouTube video on how she chose to do that sketch, follow it along. You get illustrations, digital illustrations. You get digital sentiments. You get a free paper pack. It's an unbelievable deal for $5. So I hope you join in. And if you get a chance to create with it, be sure that you join the challenge, because I would really hate for you to miss out on the opportunity. I did have 2 people that after the month was over, they showed me the project that they created. And, I'm like, please don't do that again. Send it in, sign up for it. I love having people join in on that fun. So I will say goodbye and good night for the evening. Thank you very much for joining me with the rest of the village that is determined that we're going to live creatively together. And I will see you next week. I love you all. Bye. Take care.